my ice cream is melting and my Hot Topics panel is ready to go. Joining me today, Jennifer Warnick, a storyteller now in the two-woman show, Crash Course. I can't wait to hear more about that soon. Plus evenings, Jose Cedeno and New Day producer Suzie. Welcome. Dive in, you guys.
Happy to be here.
Let's talk ice cream.
Let's do it.
I'm
Please start taste
German
testing.
chocolate cake.
Okay, these are some of the new seasonal flavors from Molly Moon's. They just opened actually a new Waterfront location at Washington Street Boat Landing, just south of the Washington State Ferry Terminal in the Waterfront Park, which is amazing if you haven't been down there. So what's everyone tasting? And you guys,
This is German chocolate cake. It's their. So I did learn that May is the month that Molly Moon started many years ago, and so all of the flavors, seasonal flavors, are celebration birthday cake.
Okay, no wonder because what do you got there?
This is birthday cake.
Thank you.
I am perpetually 12 years old and never met a rainbow sprinkle I didn't like. And so I'll just be over here.
Oh,
fun Betty.
Okay,
And
fine.
then I'm a 12-year-old as well because this is birthday cake, but this is the vegan style.
But you're a healthy
so I'm a
12-year-old.
healthy
You're
12-year-old.
healthy. I've already had the strawberry shortcake, which is phenomenal. It's so fresh. Like you can taste the strawberries. And now I'm diving into the chocolate because I'm a chocolate girl.
That's amazing.
I'm going to get in here.
Ooh.
That is amazing. And one thing I love about Molly Moon is that whatever store they're in, they've decided on a charity to donate to. And so the Waterfront is going to be Seattle Union Gospel Mission, which does great work. So,
You know a lot about Molly, I can tell.
I know, I know, really. Molly, you need me in your life. I love this ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
That German chocolate,
That is
next
good.
level.
Yes.
I do too. I feel like I just someone's gonna have to bring me a water because I feel like I just inhaled something in the
Yeah,
German
you did have that
chocolate.
face look, but that means that it's delicious.
You're not
Let's say
allergic
it.
to coconut, are you?
I'm not allergic,
Okay.
but it's absolutely fantastic. And Derek really is getting me a water because. But talk about Suzie. You're gonna have to take it. Talk about the new Waterfront Park location. This is stunning.
So they're done. Finally, the viaduct came down, and it's beautiful. And they're going to have, this was the ribbon cutting for Molly Moon, right there, as you said, on the waterfront. And it's going to have great shops like Molly Moon's. I'm just super excited about what it means for Seattle, right?
Absolutely. This location is going to be everything in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm back, baby. I got water.
All right, she's back.
Also, if you want to use cash to pay for your ice cream, you might not be able to anymore. Not really. But the Treasury Department announced that it's going to stop putting new pennies into circulation starting next year. This means businesses will start to have rounding to the nearest 5 cents for cash transactions. Are we feeling sad? Are we going to miss the penny? Jen, I can
So
feel.
many feelings.
Really?
And I'm also having flashbacks to the whole time Pluto was declassified as. It feels like a very similar situation. Like,
Wow.
you know, the penny, and yet I
I
can't.
did not expect to go to
I can tell. You really are tense about this news.
You know, we were
Yes.
talking earlier, like it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Get it?
Oh.
I'm so sorry. But,
Yes.
it doesn't make sense to keep going, but there's a huge amount of nostalgia.
Yeah.
So I feel like the best thing to do now is to plan a celebration of life.
I think I'm going to hoard all my pennies. They might be worth something.
That's what my mom just literally. She called me 2 days ago. It's
really?
like, "Did you hear the news? We're not gonna have pennies no more." And she's like, "Years ago, I gave you this bag with a lot of pennies, and I heard the ones that have the dollar sign on it. You should keep it. Yeah, 1 penny sign." And I'm like, "What?" And it's like, "When you gave me this?" It's like, "Yes, years ago." So now I'm in the hunt of finding the penny bag that my mom gave me.
Yeah.
And I hope I didn't throw it away because she's
Your
she's
mom
intense.
and I are on the
She's
same
intense.
level.
Yeah.
Wow, you can have some money there.
Maybe I'm a millionaire.
You're gonna, bye, Jose. You're gonna come into a bunch of money.
I also feel a little bit scammed in the sense that they say that businesses will have to start rounding, and they just said rounding. Nobody's going to round down.
No.
They're going to round up to 5 cents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like everything will cost more.
And speaking of costing more, it costs how much to make a penny?
Almost 4 cents a penny to make a penny. I mean,
But wait,
it makes no sense.
But wait, let's talk about the nickel. It
That's
costs
true.
14 cents to make a nickel.
I didn't know that.
No, we're picking on the penny.
You want to kill the nickel too?
Well,
Something.
no one wears nickel loafers. No one has a lucky nickel. Right? I'm just
That's
saying.
true.
I got something better. What's going to happen when you buy something that is $9.99?
I
gonna
know.
happen.
It's
It's
not
gonna
going to
be
happen.
$10.
Yeah.
Well,
It's going to
kind of always been $10.
Or to your point, they'll just start rounding up to 11.
Oh, 100%.
So you're saying get rid of the nickel, keep the penny.
I'm just saying, if we're taking a look at the whole thing,
Then take a look at everything.
So let's start with the $10 and up.
Oh my gosh. we have to move on, you guys. A reputation in Seattle here, and I'm born and raised, I know a lot of us are, that it rains a ton here. And the new, well, it's not so new, but everyone's obsessed with The Last of Us, the zombie apocalyptic show. It takes place in Seattle. Rain is coming down a lot in this, major flooding, prompting a lot of people on social media to call foul on that. And what do you guys think? You know, Seattle has this reputation of being one of the rainiest cities in the U.S.
True.
But actually, the city gets approximately 37 inches of precipitation a year, which is far less than New York, Miami, and Houston. Thoughts?
I can start with this one. I went to college in Florida, and believe it or not, in Florida, you think it rains all the time too. Like everybody thinks, oh, the sun state, whatever. No, it rains a lot, and it's gnarly rain with like lightning and everything.
the
So
thing.
It's Last of Us.
It's
rain.
just misting here. It's not intense. And I never use an umbrella. I knew it. I somehow knew Jose was going to be
you
that
an
guy
umbrella
walking
guy?
around with an
no,
umbrella.
I'm not an umbrella guy, but I can totally see Kelly wearing one.
No, I don't know. I don't own an
I
umbrella.
think it's a fail when I use an umbrella.
Yeah.
I used to think that.
Jen with the hot take.
Listen, during the pandemic, when we all switched to only doing the front of our hair, if I'm going to go to the trouble of doing the back of my
The
hair,
full shebang.
and I'm going to go outside, I'm going to pick an umbrella.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You know what?
I'm
Fair enough.
evolving.
That
I'm
is fair
changing.
enough. I
Growing
thought
and
you were going to say
changing.
you did because of all your
Growing and
hats.
changing.
Okay, no, okay, that is true. So I don't have an umbrella, but I have screwed with a lot of hats
You do
in the
have
past.
hats.
So I do have a lot of hats, and
Yeah.
they're not friendly with the water. I'll say that.
Ooh, I know.
Yeah, I don't love an umbrella. I don't love.
You're
I don't
kidding
love the
everyone.
look. I know.
Like,
no.
it's just not. It's not a look.
Yeah.
I
need
love
to-
how Seattleites hate on umbrellas. It's like my Roman Empire.
I need to grow up and not care that
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
using an
point.
umbrella,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
not there yet. I'm still
I'm not
immature
either.
in
Okay.
that sense. I have not matured to Jen's.
I know. Jen is the most
That's a good
mature at
idea.
the table.
I'll be over here, and there's room under my umbrella for you.
You know what? Maybe we'll take you up on that.
Oh, good one.
You guys, also exciting news. A few movies are coming out with, like, you know, a sequel, right?
Okay.
The movie Practical Magic from 1998. This was also filmed in Coopville, which is so exciting. You know, Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman. This is one of my favorite movies to watch in the fall. I'm thrilled to hear Practical Magic 2 has been announced. There's also going to be a Devil Wears Prada 2.
Right.
Do we think, though, the movie industry is just out of ideas, and so we keep really? Suzie, take the
I
hot
actually
take.
do. I do. Although, why isn't there a Clueless too?
Oh,
Okay.
That's a movie that I
I'm
could
really
get
shocked.
behind.
I thought that there was.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Oh.
but will you agree that there are some part twos that are really good?
Like
That's what I was gonna say.
mean-
Like, it's a yes and. Yes, Hollywood is out of ideas, but I think there's two camps of that. One is the reheated leftovers again and again, and the other is the old comfortable sweater that you get out again. And to me, both The Devil Wears Prada and Practical Magic fall into the sweater.
Category. I would
It's
agree
just
with
like
that.
so
Yes.
comfortable and cozy, and like can't
Nostalgic.
wait to go back into those worlds.
But do we need a Jurassic Park 9?
Do we need Avengers
Fast-
27?
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious,
27.
105. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
but actually, there's one film that I always thought it could be good if they have a sequel. But
Which one?
it can't be like, oh, we bring new kids and like cute kids and stuff. No, it has to be the same kids from the last movie and showing them where they were.
Okay.
E.T. Part 2.
No, that,
Yes,
I'm
hold on,
terrified.
hold on.
I'm terrified
Yes,
of E.T.
hold on. Like,
No.
Remember, he left in the first movie. He never came back, and this poor kid is his best
know.
friend. What happened to E.T.?
Oh, so
right?
you want E.T. coming back?
Coming back, like, you know
Like
what?
as a grown-up.
It's been, a couple of decades now. Let me go and check out on my
wow.
homies. Something like that, but they're grown up and maybe they're not doing well, and E.T. is trying to help them
Still
out.
in the basket on the bike.
Yeah,
Wow.
no. He probably upgraded to like a pickup
It's
truck
an
or
electric
something.
You know what?
Electric bike.
We're
Electric
gonna
bike.
have
There
to
you go.
switch gears because that is actually my least
You guys didn't
favorite movie
like
in
my
the
idea,
entire
right?
world.
Okay.
It is terrifying. But speaking of entertainment, Jen, I want to get to your show called Crash Course.
Yes.
What's it all about? Where can people see it?
Oh my goodness. So In 1994, when I was 15 years old, I died in a fake plane crash, which was part of this
Wow.
wildly popular youth group activity put on by my church. And years later, I was talking about this with one of my best friends as we were talking about creating a storytelling show together. And we realized that we both died in the same fake plane crash the same summer. So we both grew up Mormon. And the idea behind this youth group activity was to sort of teach us that, you know, it could end at any moment, so make wise choices.
Live life to
you
the
know.
fullest type of vibes.
Yeah, well, or the carefulest, the most,
Oh,
you know.
okay.
The be goodest.
Be goodest.
So we decided to make it the jumping off point for our new storytelling show, Crash Course, which is all kinds of stories spanning like 25 years about both of our journeys out of Mormonism and toward being ourselves.
Gosh, where can people see this?
It is at Theater Off Jackson, June 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And you can get tickets at flycelestial.com.
Are you hungry? Because we have Chick-fil-A starting us out here that I want you guys to dive in.
I'm thirsty. some of those lemons.
I know. Okay, several companies like Domino's, Shake Shack, and Chick-fil-A are actually testing robot delivery vehicles.
Right.
And Chick-fil-A, too, is actually having robots squeezing their lemons.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
know.
This
what
is
do we
robot
think?
squeeze
Yeah.
lemonade.
Let me.
It could. Let's
try it
report
first.
back.
All right.
I can't tell the difference between
No.
a robot and a human
Yeah.
lemonade.
So are we here for it, or are robots taking over?
Something like lemons, that seems smart to have robots squeeze them, I
True.
guess. Although, is it as fresh? I mean, like you don't have robots in every store, so is it as fresh as the employees squeezing it right then? But I mean.
Oh, I see what you mean. I feel like they'd be so much stronger than I would, so they would
Yeah,
get a lot
so
of
they
juice
can do a lot.
out of it.
If there's like an event,
Yeah.
they can just go squish, 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 squish.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of can do that too. So,
Well,
so maybe.
Jen, what do you think? Robots too much?
You know, I feel like we're about 5 years away from changing the phrase "when life gives you lemons" to "when life gives you robots," because like there's no
That's true.
avoiding this at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's about coexistence now, and so there are ways
that's
that make
frightening.
Well, yeah,
It is.
But you know, squeezing lemons makes sense.
Yeah.
I think.
And speaking of tech future, 911 dispatchers, have you guys heard this in our state, are trying out letting AI handle non-emergency calls, we should say. Is this a good idea though, or are we a little worried? Apparently they can detect in someone's like voice and if it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Or if it's
Yeah.
and if
What
it's
could
an
go wrong?
emergency, it
Yeah.
goes to a real person.
That makes a
No.
little bit of that makes a less sense than lemon
Oh.
to me. Just so you know.
And perhaps
Yeah.
more dangerous too than just a lemonade tasting
Yeah.
bad. The reason why I say this is because at the beginning there's gonna be flaws, and then what if it's a phone call that's right in those lines that you don't know? Because a lot of times people have a situation and they're not expressing themselves how they should, and then a human can probably understand that person is nervous or not, or maybe it's a
Right.
kid, or maybe But a robot will probably just go with the keywords, and they say, no, this robot is AI. Well, we've seen a lot of things that don't work necessarily well. It's gonna feel like you're in a credit card on hold, and you have a broken leg, right? And you're like, okay,
This is an emergency.
Hit A or hit 2. I'm like, what? And so I don't know. For me, it's a no.
Yeah.
Are you a no? I mean,
I'm a no right now.
I'm a no right now as
Starting
well.
with 911 feels like it's jumping all the way to the big leagues for AI.
100%.
Like I feel like if we're learning to sense expression and panic and emergency in a voice, like let's start with something a little less 911.
Yeah.
like calling your school when your kid, I mean, I would call, the school would call me and tell me something.
Yeah.
I can see using AI for that, or
Yeah.
answering me and detecting my panic, whatever, but
Right.
you're right, maybe.
Okay.
Nervous?
Speaking of detecting people's panic, because I'm a bad flyer and I want to get to this one.
Okay.
We're going to talk travel. We all get frustrated with plane etiquette. At least I do. You and I just flew recently to Silverwood to do a story. When everyone's just like getting up out of their seat right when they land, unbuckling, getting their bags out, it almost slows the process down. But Turkey is doing something about it. They're actually going to start fining
Okay.
people like $67,
Yeah.
I think, about if you are this person.
If you jump up up too early.
Yes.
I thought you were going to talk about having AI pilots, and I'm like, okay,
Oh,
wow.
no. We're really switching gears right now.
Okay.
Plane etiquette.
Okay.
I like how they're cracking down on this.
I do too. I think there's so many unwritten rules of flying etiquette,
Yeah.
first of all.
True.
Never lean the, like, I will die on the do not lean your seat back rule.
Thank you.
are on, like,
Yes,
no,
I
no,
know. Yes.
But that's not fair. Why is there
I know,
that?
there's a
Why
link.
is there? Like, if you don't want that, then block it. You can lock it. You know
Once
what I mean?
upon a time when a plane was like a living room and people were smoking and wearing suits, like I feel like there might have been enough room, but we have economized to the point where the reclining function is just kind of, I feel like, symbolic at this point.
Yes.
But the standing up thing, like, can we?
It's so
why is
frustrating.
everyone
You know
in
what?
such a
I will
hurry?
clap though if it was a hard plane ride and the pilot landed and it was smooth. I'm that loser that's like clapping.
That's
I will
fine.
say that.
That's going to
but-
be a $60 fine.
Yeah.
You're making too much noise on the plane.
I don't love that a country is imposing a fine
That's what
on
I'm saying.
behavior.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a real problem with that part. I think we can figure out how to be better humans
Yeah.
and still recline.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, you guys, we have to get to our last one too. We're running out of time. It's
right, here you go.
about spelling. How's your spelling, you guys? Right now, 243 of the nation's best student spellers are in Washington, D.C. for the Scripps National Spelling Bee. And we have a local student to cheer on as well. This 12-year-old has made it to the competition once again. He is a student at Snoqualmie Middle School. Anyone do a spelling bee? Susie?
I did not
You're
do
gonna
well
give us
in
a
spelling bees,
word.
but I'm giving you the word, the 2024 winning word, and the word is absel. And
Absel.
And
What?
it means to absel.
Okay.
And it means to descend a rock face.
Rock face.
Yeah.
Okay, so
like I abselled down the mountain.
Okay.
I don't know if I used that correctly, but absel is the word.
Absel.
Absel.
Okay, so while they think, let me think here. Can you say that in a sentence, in a different sentence?
Oh, I feel like abselling your booty down the mountain. I don't know.
Okay.
Hurry up.
You feel like abseiling your
3,
seat on the plane.
5, 4.
One more question
No,
for you.
no time.
go.
5.
Come on, you didn't even have a letter.
three.
I don't know. Like, it sounded like an A.
Show your answer. 3,
I don't know.
2, 1.
Absol. No one got it. The correct word is ABSEIL.
S-E-I-L.
You're close.
Well,
Oh,
I
you're
did,
the
or
closest.
$1, like on the
Yeah.
Price is Right when you
Everybody's
don't know.
missing just one letter.
Hey.
Is that a C?
Nope. Anyways, thanks for spending time with us today. You can check our website for more of our content. You can always send us an email to share your thoughts. Don't forget to enjoy your new day. We'll see you next time.
That was a C.
It's not a C.